I take, I don't know, 20 trolleys worth of food, and I take it home and I've got a small freezer, and what am I going to do with 20 trolleys worth of food? It's just going to spoil in my house, it's going to rot and smell my house out. It's not a good idea, is it? I'm pretty sure none of you would go home with 20 trolleys of food. Apart from Ben, maybe. Ben probably would. People will learn they don't need to take more than they need and understand it will be a burden. So although during the transition there will be those who have remnants of past behaviours, and the job is to present more appropriate values to carry out a new social direction to enhance their lives and others. This is why in the movement our real prime goal is to change the values of people, because the values that are existing in our current system would cause havoc in a resource-based economy. Okay, so future projects and how you guys can help. The next major step for the Venus project, as far as the transition is concerned, and you can find this information on their website, is that I would like to create a major motion picture for worldwide release in the mainstream cinemas to inform large numbers of people globally about the benefits of living in a resource-based economy and how we can transition from our current paradigm. Whilst we understand that the Zeitgeist movement does not itself advocate the use of money to further its goals on activism and the like, it is still down to certain individuals within certain chapters, etc., that have made events like this possible. Something like this costs many thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to put deposits down for. Those deposits don't exist before the tickets are bought. So what tends to happen is certain coordinators or groups of people within the movement dig into their pocket and they pay the deposits, and they just hope that they're going to break even at the end of the day. I can see a time where we're going to have to look at some means of funding for these events that is a little bit more efficient and less painful on certain individuals within the movement. The fact remains that as long as we are under this existing monetary system, without access to land, resources, scientific and technical products, the goods and services of those design professionals required to create a test city, this will require an enormous amount of funding within this current system. We don't have that funding currently. We intend to utilise cutting-edge 3D within this movie. Such companies as Weta Digital or Industrial Light and Magic, the kind of people that worked behind Avatar or Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, for example. The worldwide profits from this major motion picture release would then be used to fund the research and development city and showcase the viability of the Venus project and resource-based economy to the world's press. And next you'll see a short video from Jacques and Roxanne at the Venus project. Sorry.
It's left.
It's gone. Soon.
Press enter.
Yeah, I've tried that. Yeah, the thing is, there's a second screen here. You can't see it. It's one of these new holographic things. It's really cool. It's kind of there, but it's not. Yeah, where'd you go? Anyone technical here? There's me, the thing's got it designed. Now, what that? Thank you. Clearly, I'll stick to 3D.
We feel it's really important to do a major motion picture now to get to the general public, to introduce to them what science and technology can do under the direction of the Venus Project within a resource-based economy.
I think a motion picture can be played over and over again. It can be translated into many different languages, and it could do far more than my personal lectures because it travels all over the world. And in a motion picture, you can answer all the questions that people ask.
We also feel while Jacques is still alive, he is the best person to put this film together. He has worked all his life to arrive at this direction. He hasn't just read books, he has experimented and worked with people and worked with technology and showed just how a resource-based economy can function and what it will look like. So to us, it's very important to have Jacques involved in this film.
The basic ideas for the film are laid out precisely, and they are laid out in accordance with the plans of the Venus Project. If you don't have a public prepared to accept the Venus Project, there is no other way.
All of the future scenarios in science fiction films are detrimental, are scary, are technology overcoming and killing people, dictatorial governments, and technology watching your every move. This is quite the opposite of the Venus Project for anybody who knows about it. And this is what we want to get across to the public, that you don't have to be afraid of technology. We want to show how the methods of science can be used to enhance everyone's life and preserve the environment.
If we spent the money any other way, I don't think it would be as effective. We need a large following to get this implemented.
People don't know what's missing. They don't know any other system. So we want to show life in a resource-based economy, then show flashbacks of how we get from here to there, and do it in an entertaining way so we could bring the public along with it.
The Venus Project story is already fairly explicit, and what we need perhaps from a writer is putting it in terms that might be easily understood or acceptable.
It will have a lot of CGI in it, which is expensive because it does take place in the future.
But it depends on when and what kind of funds we get. That will dictate, say, the type of script.
But we feel now is the time to have the Zday members get behind this if they want to see a better world, if they want to see a transition that may not be as painful. The film would help in that way to make an easier transition.
The more funding, the more elaboration. That depends on what people do to help support the project.
If we're going for donations for this film, then it would be totally transparent. We would have information on the internet as to how much has come in, where it's going to, and we have to do this because we're aiming to get the donations through our nonprofit 501c3 organization called Future by Design. And lawfully, everything has to be transparent, and it would be.
If we do make a profit, we will build the first city, or we will do additional films, shorter films with many of them.
People will walk out of this film with a definite direction to work towards and knowing the difference between what they have today and the possibilities of the future within a resource-based economy. We want them to understand it so much so they walk out and say, why don't we live like this today?
Finally, I'd just like to draw your attention to our various current ongoing projects and how you can get involved with them. Firstly, there's our global scientific and technical database. This database is for professionals in scientific and technical fields to register as future volunteers that could be called upon if and when TVD cities are first designed. Next is our production of 3D models of Jacques' thousands of designs and concept sketches for use in visualizations, movies and other media. If you have experience in 3D modelling and computer-generated 3D graphics, we'd like you to assist us in this huge ongoing project. I'll probably be about 95 by the time I get finished with all these sketches. You can email us at mail@thevenusprojectdesign.com. We do have some business cards, I believe, that we can hand out. Also check out our website, venusprojectdesign.com. There's lots of videos on there about current technologies, etc. It's quite an entertaining site, if I say so myself. As a final note, following on from our successful exhibition in Eindhoven last year, we have reproduced as much of the exhibition that we did there as possible, minus the live 3D walkthrough of our first city model that was present in Eindhoven. We just didn't have the money for the software for that, which was about 10,000 euros. However, all of the latest 3D renders our team and volunteers have produced are on show in the exhibition next door. So I hope you all enjoy that. Thank you for listening.
First presentation as well, by the way. So. Oh, the leader's here. Oh. Okay. Let's be very clear about this again. Just forget this leadership bullshit, right? We're all here working together, okay? This guy happens to make some films, okay? Put this together. Anyway. Okay, I suppose one of the main reasons we're all here, and well, we're all here really, we've got into this stuff, so we're going to carry on doing it. Peter Joseph.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay? Let me just get my system to do what it's supposed to do. It's always amazing how in these circumstances, something tweaky goes wrong right at the moment, and I'm trying to execute it.